Some moments arrive with a quiet power. You can feel it, like something calling you from within, asking you to stop, to listen. If you are hearing these words on October 15th, then this moment has chosen you, not by coincidence but by alignment. The ancient masters of the Shaolin temple believed that when the student is ready, even the wind carries the teaching. And perhaps tonight, the wind carried you here. I am Shiheng Yi, and in this video I will share 8 important messages, rooted in ancient Shaolin wisdom and the timeless art of self-mastery. These are not just lessons for the mind, but awakenings for the spirit. Each message carries an echo from centuries of discipline, silence, and insight, truths that monks have lived, not merely spoken. You will learn how to still your mind in the middle of chaos, how discipline can become a door to freedom, how to meet impermanence not with fear, but with flow. You will understand what true strength means, not in muscle or dominance, but in presence, compassion, and clarity. There are mysteries within the Shaolin path that few ever speak of. The way intention shapes your energy, the way silence becomes soundless wisdom. These messages may challenge you. They may even stir something long asleep within you. But if you stay until the end, you will not leave with words. You will leave with a shift, a sense that something deep within you has remembered its way home. So take a slow breath, feel your feet on the ground, let your heart open to receive. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire, where ancient wisdom meets the modern soul. If these teachings speak to you, subscribe and walk this path of inner mastery with us. There is a moment before every movement, a breath before every strike. That moment is where all power begins. The Shaolin path teaches that without stillness, there is no true motion. To act without grounding is like striking without balance, force without harmony. When I first arrived at the temple as a young student, I wanted to move. I wanted to learn the forms, the techniques, the power. But my master gave me only one task: to sit, to listen to the wind, to watch my breath. Days passed. My body grew restless, my thoughts even louder. I thought I was wasting time, but then something changed. The noise began to fade, and beneath it I heard something quieter, my own awareness. That was my first lesson in stillness. Stillness is not the absence of life, it is the source of it. From stillness, clarity arises. From clarity, action becomes precise. A mind in turmoil cannot see truth. It reacts, it resists, it repeats old patterns. But when the mind becomes still, reality becomes clear, and the path unfolds naturally. In Shaolin training, even the fiercest movement begins in silence. The kick, the punch, the leap, all are born from inner calm. It is the pause that gives direction to strength. To be unmoved by outer storms does not mean you are cold or distant. It means you know where your center is, and you choose to remain there. When life shakes you, return to your breath. When emotions rise, return to your center. In stillness, you stop chasing control and begin discovering peace. Remember, silence is not emptiness. It is full of answers, full of wisdom waiting to speak, if only you will be still enough to listen. There is a story told in the temple about a young monk who wished for freedom. He longed to live without rules, without routine, without duty. So one morning he left the monastery, believing he had escaped the boundaries that held him. But outside, he soon found himself bound by something else. His own habits, his impulses, his wandering mind. After many months, he returned, bowing deeply before his master. "Now I understand," he said. "Without discipline, I am a prisoner of myself." The Shaolin monks wait before sunrise, train before the world stirs, and repeat the same rituals each day, bowing, breathing, moving, stilling. To an outsider, this may look like control, but to those who live it, it is clarity. Every repetition polishes the mirror of the mind until reflection becomes understanding. Discipline is not punishment, it is alignment. When you commit to a path, your scattered energy gathers into focus. Each small action, waking early, holding a posture, completing a task, becomes an act of devotion to your higher self. Freedom does not mean doing whatever you wish. It means being free from the chaos that comes when you have no direction. A disciplined person does not suppress life. They organize it. They no longer fight their own resistance or drift with distraction. Instead, they move with purpose, aware, steady, and strong. In ancient teachings, discipline is seen as a sacred bridge between potential and realization, between thought and embodiment. Every choice to act with awareness is a step across that bridge. When discipline becomes your companion, it stops feeling heavy. It becomes light, simple, natural, like breathing. In that rhythm, you discover that what once felt like restriction was never a cage. It was the structure that set your spirit free. A leaf does not resist the wind. It dances with it, moves with it, and when the time comes, it lets go. In the same way, the Shaolin path teaches us to live, not by grasping at what must pass, but by yielding to the rhythm of change. There was once a monk who trained beside the temple's old river. Every morning, he watched the water flow, calm, relentless, never the same. One day he asked his master, "Why does the river never rest?" The master replied, "Because it knows that stillness in flow is not stillness at all, it is harmony." From that day, the monk began to see that life too is a river. Every joy, every sorrow, every success and failure simply passing through. To live is to move through cycles. The breath rises and falls. The seasons shift. People enter and leave. Change is not the enemy. Attachment is. The more tightly we cling to what was or fear what may come, the more we suffer. But when we release, we discover ease, an inner softness that no storm can disturb. In Shaolin practice, even the hardest strikes are guided by fluid motion. Power comes not from resistance, but from adaptability. The same truth applies to the heart. When you learn to bend, you cannot be broken. Every moment is both an ending and a beginning. This day too will fade into memory. Let it do so gracefully. Allow yourself to change, to shed what no longer fits. When you yield, you are not giving up. You are giving way to life's wisdom. Nothing stays forever, and that is the hidden mercy of existence. For without impermanence, there could be no growth, no renewal, no awakening. A single cup of tea can teach more than 1,000 lessons in striving. In the quiet of the temple, a monk sits, holding the cup between his palms. He does not rush, he does not measure. Every sip, every breath, every glance is full of awareness. This is the art of presence, a practice far older than any pursuit of perfection. The world outside teaches us to achieve, to compete, to measure worth by results. But the ancient masters remind us that life is not a series of trophies or accomplishments. Life is a moment-by-moment unfolding, and the quality of each moment is felt only when we are awake to it. Presence is not doing less. It is being more attentive, more receptive, more alive. When walking through the courtyard, the monk notices the sound of the wind, the weight of each footfall, the rhythm of his own heartbeat. There is no rush, no judgment, no need to fix what is already unfolding. This is mastery without striving, wisdom without effort. Even the smallest acts carry significance. Folding a robe, tending the fire, or straightening a brush, each can become a meditation, a dialogue with life itself. In these simple, mindful movements, the spirit is refined, tempered like iron in flame, not by forcing, but by gentle attention. Perfection may promise reward, but it carries tension, anxiety, and fear of failure. Presence, however, allows peace to bloom in the ordinary. The same breath that rises and falls carries freedom. The same moment that passes contains eternity. To practice presence is to stop chasing illusions of flawlessness and begin inhabiting reality fully. In the stillness of awareness, life ceases to be a performance and becomes a living, breathing teacher, inviting you to awaken one quiet, attentive moment at a time. The fiercest battles are often invisible. In the silence of the monastery, a young monk trained not against an opponent but against himself. Each morning, he would face the mirror and see the restless mind staring back, a mind filled with doubt, fear, and impatience. These were his true adversaries. Shaolin teachings reveal that the outer world reflects the state within. A heart untrained becomes a battlefield, and every distraction, every irritation, every impulse becomes an enemy. But the path of mastery is not about conquest over others. It is about disarming the self. Each thought surrendered, each urge observed without reaction is a victory far greater than any physical triumph. There is a story of a monk who in his youth struggled with anger. Every slight, every harsh word provoked a storm inside him. One evening, the master took him to the river and asked him to throw a stone into the water. See how the ripples move outward, but the water returns to calm, the master said. Your anger is like this. If you fight it, it spreads. If you let it pass, you remain unshaken. Conquering the inner battle does not mean erasing fear or doubt. It means witnessing them, understanding them, and choosing not to be ruled by them. Each impulse resisted without force strengthens the mind and steadies the heart. Each moment of patience and clarity builds a fortress no external force can breach. The true warrior does not need to strike. He needs only to stand firm within himself, unmoved, aware, and calm. When the mind is mastered, the world loses its power to disturb, to sway, or to frighten. Freedom, true and lasting, begins where the inner battle ends. In the quiet halls of the monastery, strength is measured not by how forcefully one can strike, but by how gracefully one can bend. There was a monk who, after years of rigorous training, became known for his unmatched skill. Yet when travelers approached him with anger or hostility, he bowed first, listening before speaking, offering calm where others expected retaliation. His power was not diminished, it was made complete by his gentleness. The Shaolin path teaches that true mastery is a balance of opposites. Force without compassion is harsh and brittle. Compassion without discernment is weak and lost. But when the two coexist, they create a presence that cannot be shaken. To act with understanding, to move with awareness, to respond rather than react. This is the essence of inner strength. Compassion is not a surrender of power. It is clarity. It allows one to see without the distortion of fear, anger, or pride. When the mind is still and the heart open, one recognizes the humanity in every face, the struggle in every soul. To forgive, in this way, is not to excuse wrongdoing, but to release the weight of anger that poisons the spirit. Each act of forgiveness extinguishes a fire within, freeing energy to move with purpose, rather than recoil in resentment. There is a lesson in every bow, every patient word, every moment of restraint. Wisdom and power are not found in domination, but in harmony. The strongest monks carry no sword, yet their presence disarms. Their silence teaches more than a shout. Their patience commands more than fear. To cultivate compassion is to cultivate freedom. It is to walk through the world unburdened by the fires of judgment and anger, moving steadily, gently, and unshakably, as a mind and heart trained in the deepest truths of mastery. In the stillness of the training hall, a monk closes his eyes and focuses on a single movement. It is not the motion itself that matters, but the awareness behind it. Each thought, each breath, each intention carries energy. The Shaolin masters teach that where the mind goes, chi follows, life force flowing in harmony with focus. There was a student who struggled with distraction. No matter how many hours he trained, his movements were uneven, his mind restless. One day the master told him, "Your body does not know the difference between chaos and clarity. It follows the direction you give it. If your mind is scattered, your energy is scattered. If your mind is certain, even the heaviest obstacle becomes light." Intentions are more than wishes whispered in hope. They are quiet vows. Commitments made in stillness, spoken not with words, but with clarity of mind and purpose of heart. Each thought that lingers, each focus that deepens, becomes a seed planted in the field of the soul. Some seeds bear strength, courage, and wisdom. Others bear doubt, fear, or hesitation. The difference lies in where attention is given. The monks practice this daily, aligning breath, movement, and thought. A single intention, held steadily, channels energy throughout the body. It sharpens the senses, steadies the spirit, and illuminates the path ahead. Even a simple act, lifting a hand, stepping forward, bowing, becomes an expression of focus, a channel for energy to flow without obstruction. To live intentionally is to move with awareness, to shape reality quietly yet powerfully. Energy is obedient. It does not resist the mind that guides it. By cultivating clear, deliberate focus, one begins to direct life with purpose, planting seeds that will grow into strength, clarity, and mastery, silently, steadily, inevitably. In the early hours before sunrise, the monastery is quiet but alive with purpose. A monk moves through the courtyard, each step deliberate, each breath measured. His body flows through forms that have been practiced for centuries, yet it is not the strength of his muscles that carries him. It is the alignment of body, mind, and spirit. The Shaolin path teaches that true power is not found in force alone. A strike without focus can be blocked. A movement without awareness can falter. Strength arises when every part of oneself moves as one. The body trained, the mind calm, the spirit awake. This is the silent conversation between the visible and invisible, the physical and the unseen, the action and the essence behind it. There was a student who struggled to reconcile his training. He was strong, yet anxious, disciplined, yet restless, committed, yet unfocused. His master observed him and said, "A river flows because every drop follows the current. Your body, mind, and spirit must do the same. Separate, they fight together, they carry everything effortlessly." Slowly, through patient practice and mindful repetition, the student began to feel the current. Movements became effortless, thoughts clear, heart open. He understood that alignment was not perfection, but harmony. Harmony does not mean stillness of life, but steadiness within it. The disciplined body becomes a vessel, the calm mind a compass, and the awakened spirit the fire that guides. When all three move together, the world's chaos cannot disturb you. Challenges arise, storms pass, yet peace remains, not as absence of struggle, but as presence of mastery. Internal mastery is cultivated quietly, daily, in repetition, reflection, and awareness. Balance is not a destination, it is the way of living, a flowing harmony that transforms ordinary actions into deliberate, untouchable power and simple moments into a reflection of profound truth. Each day begins with movement, and without awareness we drift. We drift toward the noise of the world, the endless demands, the stories that pull at our attention. Life carries us outward, fragmenting our focus, scattering our energy. Yet the path of the Shaolin is a path of return, a gentle guiding back to the center, to the quiet core that is always present, always whole. A young monk once spent weeks wandering outside the temple walls, chasing distractions, searching for meaning in fleeting moments. He returned exhausted, his spirit heavy, his mind scattered. The master met him with no reproach, only a simple question: "What have you carried with you, and what have you left behind?" The answer came slowly, in silence. The world outside had offered nothing lasting. The return within revealed everything essential. Each practice, each moment of stillness, each breath taken with awareness is a door back to being. The act of bowing, of meditating, of aligning breath and motion, these are not rituals of repetition, but invitations to return to what cannot be shaken, to what endures beyond circumstance and time. October 15th is not a prophecy written in the stars. It is a mirror held up to the present. It reflects the patterns of distraction, the pull of outer pressures, and the call to remember. This day asks you to pause, to observe where you have drifted, and to step back into your own center. The journey of return is not dramatic or loud. It is quiet, patient, and subtle. Each step inward reclaims clarity, strength, and presence. It reminds you that what is eternal, the calm within, the awareness of breath, the unshaken core of being, has always been here, waiting, ready to receive you whenever you choose to come home. All 8 messages point toward a single quiet truth: mastery begins where resistance ends. The Shaolin path does not ask you to become more, to chase achievements, or to control the world. It asks you to become less distracted, to return again and again to what is real, to what is steady within you. Stillness, discipline, presence, compassion, alignment. Each principle is a seed. When nurtured, these seeds grow into awareness, clarity, and effortless strength. Life no longer moves you like a leaf in the wind. Instead, you move with it, consciously, gracefully, like meditation in motion. Carry these lessons into the ordinary moments, into your next breath, your next sunrise, your next choice. Let them guide your steps, quiet your mind, and strengthen your heart. Small practices, repeated with attention and care, become the doorway to inner freedom. Remember, the path is not about perfection or force. It is about gentle return, patient alignment, and the cultivation of presence. Every pause, every mindful act, every conscious intention brings you closer to harmony within and without. If these teachings speak to you, let them settle quietly in your heart. And as you walk this path of self-mastery, join our community here at Shaolin Soulfire. Like this video, subscribe, and allow these ancient principles to continue guiding your journey, one calm, aware moment at a time.